So with this eyes closed process, I'd like you to sit comfortably. You need to be sitting for this, so sit comfortably. And just place your hands on your lap. And with the hand that you would normally smoke with, just position the hand as if there's a cigarette in that hand ready to be smoked. So perhaps between two fingers or something. Just position that hand as if there's a cigarette in that hand. And then with your eyes closed, just get a sense of looking down at that cigarette. Looking down on that cigarette with your eyes closed. And then whilst you do that, just begin to take a few nice deep breaths. Just to relax yourself, ready for the experience. And then in just a moment, what I'd like you to do is to begin to recall the negatives associated with smoking. Specifically, the feelings of those negatives. All the negative feelings that you have towards smoking. And just begin to increase those feelings, perhaps by making the images in your mind brighter and more vivid and closer to you, perhaps associating into those images. In whatever way, just get a sense of the feelings increasing as you look down on that cigarette. And as the feelings increase, as those negative feelings increase, just begin to lift that hand a few inches up, but only lift the hand at the rate and speed that you increase those negative feelings towards that cigarette. So just allow that hand to lift up only at the rate and speed that you increase those negative feelings towards smoking. And as the hand begins to lift up and the negative feelings begin to increase, just begin to lift the head up into that confident position with the chin up slightly, as if you're standing confidently to attention, with the chin up ever so slightly. And begin to change your recall to the positives of being a non-smoker, to the positives of being indifferent to smoking. So as you turn your head away from the smoking, as you turn your head away from that cigarette that's rising up, begin to get a sense of all those positives, all the feelings of all the positives, and as the head moves up, really increase those positive feelings. Make the positive images associated with those feelings bright and vivid. Really increase the positive feelings. Notice where those positive feelings start in your body, how those positive feelings move through your body, and how all this helps you to take a deep breath in and allow that hand to lower again. And just allow the positive feelings to linger in your mind. And at the same time as those positive feelings lingering and increasing in your mind and through your body, intentionally smile with a large grin, as if someone or something is making you smile, getting a really good feeling in your body. A really good feeling in your body having said no to the old habit. A really good feeling in your body having said no to the old habit, having turned your head away from that. With that sense of confidence, positive feelings, that smile as a non-smoker. Then open your eyes a moment, and then close your eyes again, and look back down at that hand again. Look back down at that hand that looks as if it's got the cigarette in it, and look down on that cigarette. And as you look down on that cigarette, notice how it triggers those negative feelings again. And notice that as those negative feelings continue to increase, as you look at that cigarette, as all those negative feelings about smoking continue to increase, just notice how you can move your head away from that. You can head away from that, looking up slightly, gaining that confident posture, confident head. And as the head moves, allow the positive feelings of turning away from that smoking, as the positive feelings of being a non-smoker begin to flood through your body comfortably, and a smile begins to come to your face, just reinforce and boost those good feelings. With each in-breath, just enhance those good feelings of being a non-smoker. Enhance those good feelings and all the memories of what you can achieve and what kind of a life you can have as a non-smoker. And allow those feelings to linger a while as that hand lowers down again, away from you. As that cigarette moves away from you, allow those good feelings to linger. And enjoy those good feelings of having said no to the old smoking habit. Having said no to temptation. Having said no to the idea of smoking. Having said no on an unconscious level to smoking, so that if anyone ever offered you a cigarette, the answer is a calm and confident no. That triggers this sense of pleasure, this raise of the head, raise of the shoulders, feelings of calmness, confidence, slight smile. And then open your eyes a moment. And then close your eyes again and look back down on that smoking. Look back down on that hand that looks like it's got a cigarette in it. And then as you notice the cigarette, just notice how that hand can begin to rise again, and notice how all the negative feelings and emotions and thoughts associated with that old habit begin to increase. And as all those negative feelings begin to increase, as the hand rises and as you focus on the old smoking habit there and on that cigarette, as you look down on that cigarette, just notice how the head begins to move up. The head begins to move away from that old habit. And positive feelings begin to flood in to your body. And a smile begins to take shape around your face. And you can intentionally place that smile on your face, feel good, feel happy, think of good feelings, good thoughts. Think of all the positives of being indifferent to smoking, of being a non-smoker, of living out the rest of your life as a non-smoker. And you can always keep in mind that you can live out the rest of your life as a non-smoker. And you know that, do you not? You can keep in mind that you can live out the rest of your life as a non-smoker. And as that head looks away, and you can take a deep breath, and each deep breath draws in even more positive feelings as you look away from that old habit, look away from that cigarette, as you turn away from that old stuff. As an unconscious part of you had said no, leading to the head turning away from the old and towards new. And then you can open your eyes a moment. And then close your eyes and look back down on that cigarette in that hand. And as you look down on it, notice how much quicker and easier it is for the negative feelings to begin to appear there, almost as if they come straight from the cigarettes. Almost as if all that negativity comes straight from smoking, straight from the cigarettes, straight from tobacco, straight from anything associated with smoking. And then as that increases and that hand begins to rise, and you can rise that hand only at the rate and speed that you increase all that negativity, all those negative feelings associated with that old habit. And then as if your unconscious mind has said no to the old habit, your head can turn away from that, turn up, chin up slightly, taking on a confident posture, clearing your airways, being able to take deep breaths with your head and chin up slightly. And with each deep breath, and that smile across your face, you can increase your good feelings. Increase all the feelings associated with saying no to the old smoking habit. Increase the good feelings of being a non-smoker, of the thought of being a non-smoker, of the thought of remaining a non-smoker, of the actions of being a non-smoker, of the actions of remaining a non-smoker. Of the feelings of being a non-smoker, of the feelings of remaining a non-smoker. You can feel good, feel positive. And then with your eyes closed, and that hand lowering as all those good feelings are flooding in, that hand moving away from you, that cigarette moving away from you as all the good feelings flood in. In a moment, you can begin to look back down towards that hand and just notice how the hands are both clear and clean, and there's no sign of them being the hands of a smoker, because your hands can understand that from today they can be the hands of a non-smoker. In the same way that your lungs and your body can understand that it can be the lungs and the body of a non-smoker. And your mind and brain can understand that it's the mind and brain of a non-smoker. And the whole of you holistically, your hands, your body, your lungs, your other internal organs, your mind, your brain, can all understand that you can all be indifferent to cigarettes, to the idea of smoking, to smoking. You can just have total indifference. And you can look down and notice that about yourself as you, in your mind's eye, look down through and across your body at those hands. And your mind and body can always keep all this in mind and understand fully. And whilst you continue the good feelings and drift deeper inside, you can imagine how life will be different. Being a non-smoker, you can imagine how your life is going to be different. how any time anything associated with smoking, so that's anything that in the past could have triggered you to ended up having a cigarette or anything. Anytime anything like that happens, you can notice how you've learned and you're learning and continuing to learn and develop the ability that instantly triggers negative thoughts and feelings associated with the idea of smoking. So seeing cigarettes, seeing ashtrays, seeing lighters, seeing people smoking, seeing tobacco, seeing Rizzler papers, seeing matches, can all make you think of the negatives associated with smoking, can make you think, oh, that's associated with that disgusting habit where it shortens my life, it shortens the lives of others, it costs a lot of money, all the other negatives that you know of, and the feelings associated with them. And then as if your unconscious has said no confidently to that old habit and to that smoking, all those negatives can instantly seem to trigger a whole wave of feeling good and positives associated with the fact that you're not doing any of that, the fact that you're a non-smoker. So you get flooded with all the thoughts and memories and ideas of being a non-smoker, all the pleasure and the positives. And perhaps a smile then comes to your mind or to your face. And deep breath of fresh air. An awareness of how good you feel in the self that you are as a non-smoker. And as time goes on, this whole process will become more and more unconscious. So there'll come a time where, on a conscious level, you won't notice all the negative associations. When you notice things to do with smoking, you won't notice how it triggers a no response within you. You won't notice how you then get flooded with all the feel-good chemicals. All that will happen unconsciously. All you'll notice is the end result of feeling good, and not necessarily realizing that you're feeling good because you've just noticed that something to do with smoking, and that you've gone through this process on an unconscious level. So to start with, it may be more conscious, but maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months down the line, you will just feel good, seemingly for no reason, because you're a non-smoker. You will feel pleasure within yourself simply because you're a non-smoker. And you can contact me in the future to tell me how you've got on being a non-smoker, how it's made a difference to your life, and what else has changed in your life for the better. How it's almost had a domino effect, that quitting smoking led to other positive changes, and how those positive changes grew and expanded and continued. And there'll come a day, way off in the future, way off in the very, very distant future of your life, where you'll look back positively and fondly over all the changes you made, over all the achievement you made, over your experience of all those many, many years of being a non-smoker and being totally indifferent to smoking. And you can feel compelled to listen to this track again. As often as you need to, and as any time when perhaps this whole experience just needs reinforcing. And it could even be you have this track, for example, on an MP3 player, and you just end up accidentally one day having your MP3s on shuffle or something and just accidentally end up playing this because the time is right in that moment to just reinforce everything and reinforce all the changes you've made. Because you know you have the skills, the strength, the courage, the ability to strive for excellence, to achieve greatness, to achieve success, to overcome significant difficulties and challenges within your life, to feel good for absolutely no reason. And you can do all of this. And so you can achieve so much more and feel good for no reason. And you can take some moments peace now to allow the unconscious to fully and honestly integrate everything that's been said, all the ideas and suggestions, all the new learning that is necessary and relevant to you being successful in achieving your desire to be a non-smoker from now. And anything that your unconscious knows will reinforce and enhance your ability to be a non-smoker from now. You can also go over in this moment's peace. So you can go through all your life's learnings that's necessary for you specifically to be a non-smoker from now. And you can enjoy that moment's peace now. That's it. And then when your unconscious is ready and it knows that you've learned everything you need to, and understood everything you need to, and integrated everything you need to allow you to be a non-smoker from now, only then will it allow you to come all the way back to the room and open your eyes. And it can understand that my voice can go with you through all your experiences, almost like having me in your mind, just when you need me